Hi, welcome to J&O Fabrics. Today I'm going to show you how to make a no-sew fleece tie blanket. I like to start off with the material supplies you need to get started. For cutting, you can use a rotary cutter if you're more comfortable with that, or a pair of scissors, which is what I'm going to use. A straight edge, which is good to use with the rotary cutter or to make more unique cuts with a pair of scissors. And a yardstick for measuring, and a set of pins to hold our tie blanket in place. And last but not least, we don't want to forget our fleece material, about 1 yard to 2 yards of that. Okay, so now we're going to focus on our fleece fabric. I decided to go with a white background and the Colts NFL team for my No-Sew Fleece-Blanket. And you know, you could pretty much go with any team you want. You could pick a solid or another team if you like. However, whatever measurement you get for the one, you want to do for the other so that the blanket comes out nice and even. So for my blanket, I'm going to use 2 yards of my white solid and 2 yards of my Colts. So now that you have your 2 pieces of fleece material, you want to decide which piece you're going to use as the bottom. Lay that flat on a flat surface, preferably a table. And then the fleece you're going to choose for your top. Unlike with sewing, you want to make sure the right side is facing up. And we're going to match along all 4 sides the edge here, which is called a selvage. Get it as close together as you can, and to ensure that the edges meet and stay together, that's where your pins come in handy. And you can just pin it. We're going to pin it about 1.5 inches from the actual edge, so that way our blanket stays together, and when we get into cutting the edge off, we don't have to worry about it moving and bunching. And you're going to do this on all 4 edges here. Okay, now you want to take your scissors and cut off the selvage end on both your pieces that we have pinned here. And if you're worried about, well, how do I know which one is a selvage from the material, it usually has like some type of wording, as you can see here, about the colors used in the material or other details that is not necessary to put on your blanket. Okay, now that I finished trimming all the selvage around my blanket, I'm going to start with a corner. You can pick any of the 4 corners you choose. And I'm going to start to remove my pins because we're going to get into the actual tying, and I'm going to show you how to do the fringe. And for that, we want to replace our pins further into the blanket. And the depth and all depends on your own personal preference. If you want, you could pull out your straight edge. This comes in handy for this. Lay it flat against one of your corners. And you can choose to go in 4 inches if you want, 5, depending on how thick or thin you like your fringes. I'm just going to try to go in about 3 inches from the edge here. And the reason you make these corners is because they serve as templates when you're doing your fringe. So I'm going to make a snip going across. And then I'm going to make a snip at my 3-inch mark going up here. And I'll remove my straight edge and actually cut out my square. And now this is your square, and you're going to do this on each of the 4 corners. Or if it's easier, now that you have your template of a square, you could just place it down on the next corner, which I'll just show you how to do that. real fast. And remember, we're removing the pens that we placed in. And we're going to put our square down and just cut going along the edges of the square here. You're going to do that on the other two sides as well. Alright, now that I finished cutting off 4 corners, I'm going to start to do my fringe. And at this point, pretty much, you just want to come to one of your corners and you want to decide, you know, how thick or thin you want your fringe. Again, be creative with it. I'm just going to go about 1 inch, which is about a thumb, before making my cut. Or if you prefer to use this straight edge, you can pull that out as well, and to get a more perfect straight cut. So, and you want to cut all the way up to your cut where you ended at your square here, the corner. And you're going to do your next one and stop. And your next one. Again, you may want to keep your fringes consistent, so if you decided to go with a 1 inch, just keep that going around, or 2 inch. It'll come better if you do keep them consistent when we're tying them together. And you're just going to keep doing this all the way around your square. Okay, now that I've finished cutting my fringe all the way around, I'm going to show you how to start by knotting. You can choose if you like to use your top fabric or the bottom, whichever you use. It's good to be consistent all the way through, or if you want to change up, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to put my bottom piece, which is my white, solid white, and I'm going to pull it through and just do a single knot like that. And then the next piece that I cut, I'm going to do the same. Take my white piece, pull it from under the quilts fabric that I have on top, and pull it. And these are making my knots here. Like I said, if you wanted to choose to put the top one around, you can do that as well, to jazz it up a bit. And you want to pull it through, just like so. Okay, and then I'm going to move to my other side and do the same technique. Pull it through here, pull it, and then I have my knot. And you could see how this is going to be, and we're going to continue doing this all around our piece of fleece here. Now I'm making my last knot on my No-Sew Fleece-Blanket, and there we have it. Have our fringes here. And then all along the sides. See, on the sides I decided to keep the white on top, and then on this side I put the quilts fabric on top. Like I said, be very creative with it. And has a unique, cool, creative design. And it's 2 layers of fleece, so it keeps you a little warmer than the one piece of fleece blanket. Feel free to try these techniques and many more. I'm Terica from J&O Fabrics. Have fun.